Ever wonder what really makes the global economy go round? Well, a huge piece of that puzzle is forex, a market where literally trillions of dollars change hands every single day. It sounds super complicated, I know, but today we're going to break it all down, using a pretty straightforward guide as our source.
So our source material kicks off with this really direct invitation. It's a promise from a trader to teach you the basics of forex over the next 30 days. So hey, let's just think of this as day one of that journey.
All right, so first things first, before we even start thinking about profits or strategies, we've got to get back to the absolute basics. What in the world is forex anyway?
Okay, so at its core, forex, which by the way just stands for foreign exchange, is the massive global marketplace where all the world's currencies get traded. It's not one building somewhere. It's this huge, decentralized network of banks, brokers, and traders. It's basically the engine that keeps international trade and investment running.
And we're not talking about some abstract stock symbol here. This is the actual money people use every day. You know, the US dollar, the euro, and as our source points out, even the Indian rupee. For traders, the whole game is about betting on how the value of one currency is going to change compared to another.
So that naturally leads to the million-dollar question, right? I mean, we all exchange some cash when we go on vacation, but how do people actually make money from this?
The secret sauce is in the constant movement. See, currency values are always shifting up and down. They get pushed around by things like changes in a country's interest rates, big economic news dropping, or major geopolitical events. A trader's job is to try and get ahead of those shifts. You know, buy a currency when it's low and sell it when it's high. That little difference in price, that's the profit.
Now, with a market that's bouncing around all the time, it's easy to think success is just a roll of the dice, like a big casino. But our source makes it super clear that's not the case at all. Instead, it argues that real, lasting success is actually built on two very specific things.
And here they are, plain and simple. First up is knowledge. You gotta understand what actually makes these prices move and how to spot the trends. But, and this is absolutely crucial, the second part is strict discipline. That means you're managing your risk, you're sticking to your game plan, and you're not letting emotions like fear or greed call the shots.
So let's say you do that. You get the knowledge, you master the discipline. What's the payoff? What's the real end game here? It all comes back to those two key ingredients. The source really hammers this point home. When you put those two elements together, the whole thing stops being a gamble and turns into something way more powerful.
And boom, there you have it. The goal isn't just to get lucky on one trade. It's to develop a powerful skill, a repeatable, fine-tuned ability to work the markets and potentially generate earnings. This totally reframes forex from just something you do into a professional craft you can build. So, the key takeaway here is that everything we've just covered, what forex is, how you can profit, the rules for success, this is all just the foundation. It's the essential starting point for that 30-day journey to mastery that was mentioned right at the beginning.
So that leaves us with one final thought. We've laid out the fundamentals. The real question isn't just if you're ready for the journey, but what you're going to do with the knowledge and discipline it takes to really master it.